Right on. Hey, welcome to Guitars and Coffee with Bartman. Before I get too far into this, I want to give a special thanks to 77 and Teal for doing for being one of our sponsors for this show. And I am actually drinking this one right now. It's called The Fix. You need to go to their website. You need to get hooked up with these guys. By far the best coffee you're going to drink. Also, TTM, they're not hurting us either. So, okay. So today, this is a really, unfortunately no intro music or anything today. So we're working on that. So right now what we're going to do though is we're going to do the questions that people asked when I asked, what would you like to ask me? So that's what we're going to do today. So we're not going to actually play any guitars or anything like that. We're just going to answer questions. So the first question comes from Sean. And by the way, I'm not going to put last names in here because, well, I don't want to embarrass anybody in case they asked a stupid question. So, Sean asks, do you ever spill coffee on your guitar while playing? Yes, I have, Sean. Yes, I have. Okay, but I try really hard not to. Demetrio, he asks, one time when you needed coffee the most and luck had it right next to you. Well, the good news is whenever I need coffee the most, it is always right next to me because I don't go very far without it. So, see, it's right here right now. Alright, see, that's how that works. Alright, Chris asks, how many guitars do you actually have? Okay, Chris, well, at last count, 50. Now that includes acoustics, basses, electrics, devil necks, guitar, every guitar I have. So, a lot. Or at least I think that's a lot. But there's always room for more. Don't ever think you can't fit more. Okay. Next. Joe asks, how do I have my coffee? I drink my coffee black. I don't do any of that creamer or nothing like that in there. So that's your answer for that. Oh, and hot. I don't do cold coffee. Cold coffee sucks. That's the stuff you throw away. Okay. Stephanie asks, how long have you been growing your goatee? Really? I don't know that. Probably maybe 15 years? Something like that. That's what I'm being told by my happy cameraman, about 15 years. But I do trim it, so that's why it's not like down to here. Or I'll fry it out and everything. Okay. So John asks, well, John had a few questions. Which guitar sounds better with what coffee? Okay. Well, that one, well, as long as it's not decaf, then really every guitar sounds good with coffee. So unfortunately there's not like me going, okay, well today I'm drinking 77 and Teal's The Fix, so I need to play my Reaper guitar because it's going to sound better that day. Unfortunately it doesn't have that effect on me. What does decide what guitar I'm playing really is the song that I'm playing, is what decides that. When I'm writing music, sometimes the guitar I'm playing actually decides how the song is going to come out. So there's that answer. All right. Are there different ones for different moods? There are different. Well, that's a two question, right? So yes, I have different guitars for different moods, and I do have different coffees for different moods as well. So yes. Again, still from John. Which amp still functions after you spill coffee on it? Well, the good news is I've only splashed a little bit of coffee on an amplifier and it didn't soak anything, so the Black Star held up just fine though from that. But I did have to take, I had to clean it because, well, I couldn't leave it like that. Okay. So here's a question. Next question. Next question is from Candy, and she wants to know, what was the purpose for starting Coffee and Guitars? Okay. Well, the purpose of it was, and today's not a great example of it, but I wanted to sit down with other musicians and talk to them about their rigs, their gear, things they use, so that it helps other guitar players when they're trying to figure out what to do with their stuff. I also wanted to talk to them about their different recording rigs versus live rigs, as well as my stuff, that I use in the studio and versus live, and just go over different stuff, including I want to do some equipment reviews where we actually test the equipment and see if it's actually gig worthy and studio worthy. But that's the main thing. Just basically to get a bunch of people talking back and forth and trying to get as much information out to everybody as we can, so that we can make it easier for people who want to keep playing guitar, and plus also so that we can have coffee and show off a bunch of guitars. It just gives a better reason to have more guitars, more equipment, and more coffee. So it's excellent that way. All right, but good question. Okay, Gavin asked, can you use a coffee cup as a slide? I know I can, and I'll tell you what, I would show you, but I still have coffee in this cup, and I'm not doing it with a full cup of coffee. But yes, I know you can. I'm sure it can be done. It might not sound super awesome, and it may come out pretty sloppy, but I'm sure it can be done. Okay. Kat asks, what music did you listen to growing up, and what musician inspired you to make music? Okay. Well, first off, the music I listened to when I was growing up, I listened to a lot of Kiss growing up. I listened to Deep Purple, and then as I started getting a little bit older, I started branching out, and I was listening to Aerosmith, the Beatles, then Black Sabbath, and started getting into heavier and heavier things and more guitar-driven stuff as that came along as well. Pat Travers, all those guys. The one that inspired me to start actually playing music, though, was actually Ace Frehley from Kiss. And then it turns out I had a lot of family members that also played music, and they helped me along. But Ace Frehley is why I wanted to start playing. Okay. All right. Mary asks, what are your favorite pedals? Okay. The good news is I'm glad you had an S on there, because I don't just have a favorite pedal. But as most people know, my wah is very important to me. I really love my wah pedal. I have a few different ones. I have classic original Crybabies from Dunlop. I have a Jimi Hendrix mini wah, which just happens to be right here. I use that as well. And on my live rig, on my pedal board, I use an Ibanez Demon Weeping wah for my live rig. And I love that thing. It's so awesome. You can dial it in any way you need. Then my other favorite pedal would have to be my MXR Smart Gate, which is a necessity for the volumes we play at, and as high of a gain of an amplifier we use. The Smart Gate is the greatest thing ever. I recommend getting that pedal no matter what if you plan on playing live. And then, of course, the other #1 pedal would be my TC Electronic Tuner. That's another favorite pedal. You should always have a tuner pedal on your pedal board. That way you can make sure everything's in tune. Otherwise, what's the point? It just sounds like crap. So always use a tuner. Okay. Scott asks, what kind of metal goes best with a dark roast? Well, dirt metal's really good. Heavy metal is excellent, of course. If you're looking for specific bands, I recommend, of course, like Burning Sunday, Aggressor, bands I'm probably not supposed to mention, because I don't want anybody being mad, but like, let's say, I don't know, good bands with coffee. Metallica, Megadeth, Pantera. Pantera's great with fucking coffee. Let's see, what else? Anything. As long as it's heavy, that's all that matters. Alright. Okay. Shira asks, how much coffee does it take to get the energy level that you have to be able to play the music you play? Alright, well that's a good final question. And I can honestly tell you, way more than any doctor would ever recommend. Because I start off my day with drinking coffee. I drink coffee throughout the day, into the evening, and if I don't drink coffee before I go to bed, I can't sleep worth a damn. So that's where we are with that. So this is going to be a short episode. I hope, like I said, the biggest thing we're going to start doing is we will start getting into more in-depth stuff. We'll start doing some guitar reviews. We'll start doing some equipment reviews. We'll get some people in here and start doing some interviews. And we'll have some theme music hopefully really soon. All right, you guys have a great day. Appreciate you tuning in. Take care.